Good morning, everyone. I'm back, and I'm sure you missed me yesterday, but it was impossible to do something here in the studio because it was so hot and humid, and it was just it was set up for a disaster because you can't pour when it's so freaking hot. Right now, it's already 24 degrees in my studio. And I thought I'd start early, so I don't know what to do, guys. I can't get a airco because Holland has been struck by some sort of a heat wave. If you pay attention to the news, I'm pretty sure you're hearing about what's happening here in Europe. It's the UK, even in Sweden, Norway, all over the place. It's just unbelievably hot. And next week it's gonna get hotter. Yes. Okay, guys. First off, I'd like to thank everyone that has sponsored my channel in July 2018. So thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. And if you're not on there and you have sponsored, please slip me an email because I'll put you on. But I'm pretty secure with those names, so I'm pretty sure everyone's on there. Now, this one, I'm going to do a background. I'm going to paint it black. And then I'm going to come in with black. This is bronze, gold. Oh no, this is copper, bronze, and gold. Copper, gold, bronze, sorry. It's very early in the morning for me. And this is, I think it's cyan blue. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to be painting this background first. I'm just taking it pure out of the bottle, and this is ivory black, and we'll just put this on. And while I'm doing this, this is what I meant last time when I said those unicorn spit colors. They really are amazing when you put them on a white background, because as you can see here, you see all these, you know, that you can almost see through the paint. You don't have that with unicorn spit, but I don't want to jinx it and use too many brands because I got 2 brands of paint here. And like I always say, don't mix too many brands because the chance of cracking gets pretty high when you do that. The thing is, I've seen a lot of comments, even on my Facebook group, where people say, oh no problem at all, just mix everything up. Well, that's certainly not the case, because you can be lucky if your paint is sort of the good thickness and it dries all equally, then you're lucky because then you don't get any cracks. But if your paint is between the brands has a different thickness, you could be in big trouble because it really does crack. And I've had not like 10 people, but I've had like, I don't know, I think about 30-40 people telling me it cracked. And the only reasons paint cracks is because number one, the paint you leave on the canvas is too much. You know, then you get these little bumps all over the place. And or you can have something that cracks because you dry it too fast. That's also, oh, look at this. This is so, I'm gonna have to paint this twice. So you'll have those cracks, and you know, you can fill them up with gold like I showed on a video a couple of weeks ago, but you know, sometimes you just don't want cracks in your painting, so then I just advise you to use the same brand of paint because it all dries exactly the same, and that's it. Now, like I said, you can be very lucky that the brands you have put together just sort of, you know, dry at the same speed, then it won't crack. But before you can get the information, you'll have to try that. So that's how it works. Some of these acrylic paints dry very fast, some dry very slow. If you're lucky, you'll get the brands that dry almost the same. And if you're unlucky, you will have two brands at the end of the range and it will crack. That's why I usually don't do house paint. I've seen a lot of people ask, you know, can I do this with house paint? Sure you can, but you know, you gotta always experiment and see what works for you. And that's the best thing you can do. You can see a lot of, it looks like it's totally covered, but it's not. Can you see that there? So I'll have to do this twice. But that's the way it goes. Okay, on the other thing I've been working on, I wanted to do a voiceover when I use my drone. So I went out, bought myself a microphone, and yeah, I'm a cheapskate. So I bought a cheap one, didn't work. You could hear me like, it was like I was in a cave and like a mile away, something like that. And that didn't work at all, so I'll have to see if I can get something better than the one I tried, because you could not hear me. And I'd like to do a voiceover because some people asked for that. They said, you know, it would be nice if you could tell us where you're flying, and tell us something about the part of the country you're flying in. And I agree with that. That sounds like something I'd really like to do. Okay. So yesterday I've been working on, because it was too hot in the studio, I was working on something in Photoshop. And I will show it to you in a second. I'm going to put all these colors in here with the little spout here. And then I'm going to pour it from here. I'm going to tilt the canvas a little bit and let it flow down. But I need a background because I don't want to come in, you know, I don't want to spread it. I don't want to tilt it too much. I just want to tilt the canvas like this, pour it down there, and see what happens. Okay, guys, I'm going to do the sides. I'm going to do that without you guys. And I'll be right back and show you what I did yesterday in Photoshop. So see you in a bit. Okay guys, I'm back. This is, it's black now and it's all covered and we're ready to pour on top of it. This is the thing I made yesterday on Photoshop, which I kind of like. I like that it has the cells. Yes, I'm a cell person. So if you want to download one of these, if you go to Instagram and you search for Annemarie33, you'll go directly to my Instagram account, and in the comments on this image you'll see the link to the drive where you can download it. It's a big file, that's why I can't send it, and you can print this out to about 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters and you will still have the best quality. So I don't know what that calculates to. 50 centimeters, what would that be? I'm not sure, but it's pretty big. So, and of course you can print it smaller if you want a smaller one, but the colors don't really pop on this print like they do on the original. So if you go to Instagram, you will see exactly what it looks like, and I am saying go download one. If you want one, you're welcome, and that's it. Now, to our pour. And I'm gonna only do one video today because it is hot. So I'm gonna be doing other stuff. I might just do some Photoshop work. Now, I'm not sure if people would enjoy me showing them how to do that, because I'm not sure that a lot of people have Photoshop. You know, you don't have to have the newest Photoshop. You really don't. If you just have an old one, and they are pretty cheap. I bet you can buy one second hand. So if you just buy a really cheap Photoshop, you can do everything with it that you can do with the new ones. A little bit of that, and now I'm going to add just a little bit of silicone because there's no silicone in here, but I'm going to add a little bit to the rest of the paint. So I'm only putting in a couple of drops, just giving it a little swirl, not too much, but I do want a little bit of cell action. Don't want a total pour without. So I'm layering it in, as you can see. And a little bit more black. Don't know what that's going to do, but we'll see. And we'll just see what pops out, right? It's a lot of paint, so I'm pretty sure I have enough to pour it straight down this, straight down the canvas. I'm going to let it flow off the end. A little more of the gold. That's it. I think that's enough. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to hold it up like this, and then you can see it. And I'm going to start pouring right here. Here it comes. I kind of like what it looks like, but I would like some more gold, but we'll see what happens. I just might tilt it a little bit because it's not really smack in the middle. There it goes. Gonna stop just before it's going off the edge. Just gonna make it a little bit. Oh, that is pretty. Look at that. That is beautiful. Maybe I will cover the whole canvas. That's just how it goes when you do something and you're not sure how it's going to. Look at that. That is beautiful, isn't it? All this. Oh, I'm going to torch it. Maybe just a little bit. Not too much. That's about it. That is really pretty. Wow. Maybe a little up here too. Not too much though. Now I'm gonna pour this off the side. And that one is gonna go that way. Whoa, losing all those cells. Don't want to do that. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be a whole painting anyway. Can't help it. Sorry guys, gotta tilt it. This is really beautiful. Making it go over the corner. There we are. That's it. That is beautiful. Wow. That is really something else, isn't it? That is really beautiful. This is all the metallics. I gotta clean my hands before I get some drips on it. I don't want drips on it. But I am gonna torch it just a little bit more. This is really, I love this. Let's see if we can torch something into this black here. Let's see. Yep, there's some metallics popping up, which I kind of like. It's just, you know, because it's pulling up the silicone, and with it, it's pulling up that metallic, so I really like that. And while we're doing this, it's sort of getting rid of those little air bubbles, but that's it. I'm gonna stop right there. That's more than enough. I'm gonna let those grow. This is really beautiful. I love the little lines that come out, so that's it. And I'm loving what's happening here. It's growing. Maybe I'll just let the video go for a bit and see what happens, because these are still growing. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The thing is that the mixture I used is, don't freak out, but I did a 50-50 mix, so 50% paint and 50% new pouring medium. So that gives that unbelievable cell action, as you can see here. And this will grow for at least, I think, about 15 minutes, but I'm pretty sure we're going to keep this calm bit here in the painting, and this is going to grow. And I like the balance in the painting. As you can see up here, all the metallics, nice cells. Up here, this black, then again the cells, and some cells down here. I like the balance in the painting, and I'm very, very satisfied with how it turned out. I think it's beautiful. The only thing is that the blue is a little bit more intense than you see on your screen, because sometimes monitors don't really pick up those colors that well. But I can still see it moving and moving and moving, so I'd like it to stop in about 5 minutes, if that could be, because I think then I still see the balance, but it shouldn't be growing any more than it has right now. This almost looks like resin. This is something that I'm going to varnish with the very, very glossy varnish, the one I made myself. So this is going to be really like 10 times varnished, so that it looks like resin, because I think that fits with this pour. Okay, let me put it away. Let me be really careful, because I don't want to touch the corners. Okay, and the paint that we have left on the table, it's not too bad. Let's see if we can do something with that. Because guys, I'm going to do just this one video today, because it's just way too hot. I'm going to do something in my garden. I'm going to play around in the pond, trying to get some of that, you know, algae out. And I might upload a little drone video later. I can do that. Let's see what happens with this. This is kind of, you can't pick it up, but this is all metallic. That is pretty cool. There you go. Can you see that? That is pretty. And this is all about the pouring medium. Vallejo has done a really good job of getting that recipe just right. Pull some down here, because I'd like to keep the whole thing. They've done a really good job. Look at that. Let me get you in really close. It's almost a 3D effect. Can you see that? It's almost like they're rising up out of the paint. That is really beautiful. I'm gonna just put this one away. And I'm sort of wondering if when it dries, if it still has that 3D effect. We'll see this week. Maybe I'll do a video when it gets a little cooler, if it does, because they're expecting something like 40 degrees here in Holland. This is unheard of. Guys, don't think I'm just, you know, I really want to pour, because when I'm playing with this paint, this is really what I like to do, but not when the sweat is running off your forehead. It's just too crazy. I'm telling you. That's why I'm going to make an extra long video. And for all the negative Nellies, just use the fast forward button. That's what it's made for. If it's something that you don't like, fast forward. If only we had one of those buttons in life, right, guys? That'd be awesome. Yeah, I don't think so. It would be like for some people, going to work, fast forward, going back home. Your life would be over like in a flash. So good thing we don't have the fast forward on life. I really kind of like what it's doing. Look at that. See that? How it's almost 3D? That is really cool. Okie dokie. One last one, because that's about all that's left here on my table. Oh, I watched the Good Fight, and I'm through. There's no more. I watched 2 seasons, so maybe you guys have season 3 already, but we don't. So I watched that one, and then I saw a new season of Suits, and I really loved that series, so I started all over again. Yeah, I'm sort of getting old, because when I was younger, I could not imagine watching a series or, you know, one of those TV shows for the second time. Oh man, this is beautiful. Look at that. That is so beautiful. But I couldn't imagine watching a series for the second time. But now lately, you know, when I do, I sort of see that I skipped a lot of stuff that I didn't see. So, yep. So that's pretty interesting that I finally discovered that you can watch a series twice. And it wasn't even that long ago that I watched it, I think 6 or 7 years ago. She is now married to the Prince of Wales, or whatever you call it. So she's moved on. She doesn't do that anymore, the Suits. But we'll see what happens. Let me get something to swipe it. Let's do it with a palette knife. Pushing it all up, folding it over, and pulling it down. Let's see what happens with this. Not as crazy as I thought it would be, but kind of nice. I do like the way the colors play together. That's kind of cool. So at work we have some good air conditioning now. They fixed it recently, and right now we're having some really cool climate at work, so I like that. This isn't gonna work. This is just yuck. This doesn't have enough color in it. Let's see if I can do something to it. Pull it up, pull it down, tap it on the table. Let's see what happens. This is really subtle. Oh, and it really depends how the light, how the light catches it. It's pretty cool. But maybe not suitable for jewelry, because I don't know, it's just not interesting enough. But I'm gonna keep it. Who knows what I'll do with it. Okay guys, this is it. So if you want one of the prints that I just showed you, here it is, Instagram, Annemarie33. And you can download a copy if you like. If you get in trouble with your printer, you just have to send me an email, and I'll send you a thing stating that you can make a copy. Some people do that. Some printers are really, well, that's good that they take care of that. You know, that they just don't print anything that the customers give to them. So they're just on the safe side. That's okay. I'll send you one of those Word documents stating that you can download and print it. Okay, guys? I love you all to pieces, and I won't be back today because I'll show you how hot it is. Can you see in my gloves? It is wet. It is just so wet in there. It is unbelievable. They are just sticking to my hands now. I've never had this happen before. This is look, it's just wet. And sweat is really running off my forehead. You see that? Okay, enough of that, because I'm pretty sure you have the same problems I'm having. But we're gonna say, I love you all to pieces. Liebe euch alle. Hou van jullie allemaal. And I'll see you in the next video. See you guys. Bye bye.